Orange man slaps brown ban on dying world. More to come. Who figured out that a real estate crook who thinks everything in the world is real estate is qualified to decide what they should teach at Harvard? Former Doge czar Smash and Grab has condemned Big Daddy the Don's one big bullshit bill for not killing enough poors. He threatens to go nuclear with the Epstein files, which we all knew about already anyway. Trumpty will retaliate by dropping his Tesla from his gift jet over Musk Boy's Boca Chica house. Not that Captain Apartheid has a Boca Chica. Tickets for the drop start at 1 million. The American people, interviewed en masse, expressed hope that both Tusk and Mump would lose the tiff. Trump's supporters said it's all part of the man's genius plan to... something. Musk's supporters both declined interviews. Project Donald 25 has attacked America on 4 fronts, says Jamel Bowie. But all 4 are easily explained. Away. 1. The Constitution. Well, Alex Hamilton had a hand in that, and he was an illegal, many of me are saying. And also, it's a terrible show. They hopped when they should have hipped. 2. The economy. Yes, there will be blood, pain, and that's what Americans do, usually to others, but in this case, President Payne does it to you. For you. Something. 3. The planet will be fine. God has this. And 4. 300,000 people around the world who have died because of Doge cuts to USAID. We're going to die anyway. Sometime. President I Alone Can Destroy America continues his MAGA program. Requirements that Medicaid recipients go to work sound like sound requirements until you notice that to work and have kids and have health, you have to have child care and transit and mental health care and addiction treatment and maybe a society. Lacking a society, let's blame the victims. Again. Studies of rising anti-Semitic incidents show a preponderance of attacks on Israeli consulates and on people boosting Israeli genocide of Palestine. Not quite the same as attacking a Jewish deli for being Jewish. That happens too.
Real anti-Semitism. The Jewish deli has a rock thrown through it.
Though not as much as families getting murdered for being on land Israel wants. When graduating students refused to shake hands with their dean, who had been in the Israeli occupation forces, was that anti-Semitic? Or just anti-dean? Hard to parse. Jewish students were ostracized for supporting Israel, which should never happen unless Israel ostracizes Palestinians from their land and limbs. As uncomfortable as the Jewish students felt, it probably didn't rise to the level of Mahmoud Khalil's, shall we say, uncomfort. With big law firms now being forced by the White Palace to defend police who terminate citizens for being incorrectly colored, a legal website called Above the Law, named after the president, is studying whether, chips down, rich liberal lawyers will choose to remain liberal or rich. Meanwhile, the Injustice Department is halting its oversight of local police accused of abusing black people by murdering them. The oversight prevented the Popo from doing their job of terrorizing people into submission to our Judeo-Christian values and whiteness. In any case, the government needs the police consent decrees redeployed to universities where the crime of opposing mass slaughter is rampant.
The genocide currently occurring is supported politically and militarily by the United States, is paid for by our tax dollars, and has been live streamed to our phones for the past 18 months.
In drug news, the ketamine shroom E cocktail certainly explains Elon's mean, but what drug could possibly explain Miller mean? It turns out that repetition plus amplification equals truth to our brains, and since many people think with their brains, well, not so many, really. Anyway, it turns out that George Floyd died of a drug overdose, according to a Dr. West, Dr. Kanye West. Not an isolated comment. A move is afoot to rewrite the Floyd story so it sounds better to... yay. Another source explained that calling the Floyd incident racist brutality caused the ensuing riots. That from an investigative journalist, well, a news anchor, married to the former head of the police union. The conviction of Derek Chauvin for murder has also been compared to a lynching by many Tucker Carlson. President Pants on Fire says he would support raising taxes on the richest Americans to help pay for his domestic agenda, while suggesting that his fellow Republicans should probably oppose it. He also noted that Palestine should be free, but not now, and probably not ever. In Ed Martin news, the failed nominee for Washington, D.C. District Attorney has been reassigned to weaponize a department he was hired to de-weaponize. It seems to be mostly a matter of which way you point the gun. Woody Guthrie was asked by the FBI if he would carry a gun to defend his country, to which he responded he couldn't guarantee which way he would point it. Ed wanted to indict Schumer and Cuomo, which I thought were good ideas, but on the wrong charges, and by the guy who should be indicted first. He avows he will name and shame the big guy's political adversaries. You know, Beyonce, Bruce, judges, mayors. So this is all pretty much the exact opposite of what the department did before, in that they're targeting the people who are trying to deny America's right to its own Führer. Yes, Dorothy, we are in the Dark Ages.